Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to our third podcast episode. Today, we will delve a bit deeper into an article that we wrote and we thought was quite insightful about how to stay ahead in 2025. We will break down the key points of this article and discuss what they mean for your business in this new year. So let's begin talking about some important economic changes that are taking place. And the first of these is the 2% reduction in national insurance contributions. This policy, as many of you know, aims to make hiring more affordable, encouraging businesses to expand their teams and boost their overall economic activity. This is important because it aims to do precisely that, to unburden companies with those costs ever so slightly in the hope that productivity actually increases as a result of having that extra cash lying around. This is very important because for a lot of SMEs, 2% is still a big deal, and it means that it opens a door for that money, for those funds to be made useful elsewhere. Adding to this, we have seen that the VAT registration threshold has been raised, and this is great news for small businesses, as what it does is it really allows them to grow and keep more of their profits before needing to register for VAT. And added to that, it moves that VAT threshold into a territory where a lot of SMEs don't really have to worry about it, whereas before there's always been a lot of anxiety of whether that threshold was going to be crossed, and when it was crossed, what to do with the whole registration process. Now, moving that ever so slightly, I think, provides a very important level of security for SMEs, and it allows them to kind of maneuver more comfortably around that threshold area, whereas before it was a bit more constrictive, let's say, especially with regards to what an SME is typically looking at in terms of profits before they actually need to register. Lastly, and in terms of these economic policies, we have expensing, in particular full expensing. These rules have changed, meaning that businesses are now allowed to deduct the entire cost of, for example, say, new equipment in the year of purchase, rather than spreading it out over several years. And this is extremely important because what it does is it almost immediately improves the cash flow and enables businesses to reinvest in their operations and stay competitive on a shorter time scale. So whereas before you'd have to have that calculation as year on year and moving forward in time, now you can get that deduction straight away, and it frees up the cash and essentially allows that to be reinvested already from the next fiscal year, if not sooner. And that provides a much needed flexibility for businesses in terms of remaining competitive and having the cash on hand to reinvest as needed. So now let's move to enhanced business support services. So here the government has introduced a new business growth service, which acts as a one-stop shop for business support. And fundamentally what it does is it offers funding, guidance, and advice tailored to each business's needs, making it much easier to access resources and support for growth. So what we find very interesting about this initiative is that all these resources, the guidance, the various offers that are on hand, the tailored advice, is all going to be in one place, preferably a single touch point, which is great for businesses, especially SMEs, given that not everybody has the dedicated team or the experience to seek out this information on their own. And oftentimes to very laborious efforts and time-consuming efforts for the business itself, because it means that not having a dedicated team of people that necessarily have the experience, you're taking away invaluable time and resources from a business to go and seek that out. whereas having that single touch point eliminates a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted efforts and energy and even money, and makes it available in a single place, which is extremely interesting and I think is extremely valuable to, like I said, SMEs, but especially to newer businesses who are the ones that perhaps need that advice most as they're trying to establish themselves in the market. Also, let's not forget that public procurement policies now prioritize social value. This means that businesses must demonstrate their positive impact on the community and their alignment with broader social goals to secure government contracts. So what this is meant to do is to encourage businesses to adopt ethical and socially responsible practices, therefore enhancing their reputation and appealing to socially conscious consumers. Now, a fourth important aspect that we discuss on the polls quite often is innovation and industrial strategy. What is going on at the moment is the government is focusing on innovation, particularly in sectors like green energy, advanced manufacturing, and digital technologies, where in essence businesses are encouraged to collaborate with universities and other research institutions to leverage cutting edge research and technology as a means of positioning the UK as a global leader in these high growth sectors. So for us, this initiative is very interesting because what it does is it merges the best of both worlds in that innovation isn't necessarily a standalone effort. It's usually a combination of many different concerned efforts or many different practices that comes together and produces optimal results. And what the government is doing is essentially making different actors and different aspects of a particular technology or project come together and optimize what can be optimized in any case about that, utilizing the resources the best of the abilities and guaranteeing in a way that the end product or end result is coming out to the best of its possibilities, whether that actually becomes something that is widespread, has widespread adoption, or is life-changing, or whether it's something that isn't necessarily either of those things, but still pushes business and innovation forward. It's done so at an optimal level. And I think this is very important for both stakeholders, so it's going to be businesses and the universities or research institutions that participate in these programs. So in the long run, this is something that's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out and what are the benefits that are going to come of this, tangible benefits that are going to stem from this cooperation. So now taking a step back and looking at economic growth projections from a macro lens, our article suggests that a 1.5% growth in the UK economy for 2025 is achievable. However, we also do recognize that there are many challenges facing UK businesses, one of them being the changing consumer habits and obviously the ongoing flux in market dynamics. So this means that businesses must remain flexible and adaptable, and they have to continuously monitor market trends and adjust their strategies to meet these changes, to reflect these changes. Obviously, this entails a very focused and diligent effort on the part of businesses to always keep an eye on what's going on around them, not only in their industry or their sector, but at a more macro level, in the economy, in the international realm, and be ready and especially be unafraid to adapt accordingly. But there has to be that initial effort to keep on top of current events in all aspects of today's world. I think one important takeaway is that businesses can no longer just keep their head down in their own business and expect similar results as in the previous decades. I think the new general trend is going to be to be adaptable, to maximize adaptability and prepare for it actively instead of passively, and be prepared to strategize accordingly. To conclude, what we believe 2025 is going to look like is a year of many opportunities and many challenges. What's going to make one triumph over the other is going to be, like I said previously, adaptability and setting out a clear path, clear strategies to overcome any adversity that might come a business's way. And again, here the key word is adaptability. I think there's many opportunities. Usually when there is a lot of flux, there's a lot of dynamics, often converse dynamics in the market or on the political and social landscape. It's usually a good sign. It usually means there's equally a lot of opportunities to explore, and this is what makes this such an interesting time. Obviously, we have to embrace change. We have to leverage any available support services and adopt new and innovative practices. And only in this way can businesses truly navigate these complexities and stay ahead in what can often be seen as uncertain and current economic landscape. So being proactive, staying informed, and seeking out these opportunities, especially those that involve adopting new technologies, innovation, greater cooperation, both in industry and outside of your own industry, are all things that have to be kept in mind as being really key metrics in paving the way to a profitable and a very auspicious 2025. So that is all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Please do not forget to subscribe to The Pulse and also our newsletter to receive unique updates and downloadable guides to better your business. Wishing you a very happy and auspicious 2025 from everyone at North Star. Thank you for tuning in.